always on time. I'm ahead of the game, I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues, I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh, I'm so raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like A-Day. I ball hard in clutch play.
This season, watch the Hungry Jacks NBL take it to the next level.
Hello and welcome to Melbourne for the opening night of the 2021 Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. Liam Santamaria and Peter Hooley here with you. It's the second leg of your opening night double header. Mitch Creek and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix up against Xavier Cooks and the Sydney Kings. Pete, let's start with the Phoenix and their prized recruit, Chinese superstar Zhou Qi.
It's exciting for the league, it's exciting for everybody, but most importantly for the Phoenix. Just a massive signing, and there's no pun intended. He is a big boy. Saw him at Media Day. It's just an incredible thing to have him running around in the NBL and for the Phoenix. Can't wait to see what he brings. Led the CBA in blocks. We know he's been part of the Houston Rockets, drafted in the NBA, part of the national team. This is going to be exciting to see what he can bring. It's only going to be a small taste, but just cannot wait to see what he dishes up this year.
For the Kings, geez, they've got some big pieces missing tonight. We'll talk more about those in a minute, including a bunch of guys that will be key to their rotation. But one guy we're going to get a good look at tonight, exciting new import, RJ Hunter.
Yeah, really excited to see RJ Hunter play for Boston Celtics, a little bit around the Atlanta Hawks in the G League, and he's a shooter. If you love your college basketball, you remember RJ Hunter around the March Madness, had some big moments, but looking forward to seeing how he plays. Really high character off the floor as well. The Kings guys are really happy with what they bring. No Jalen Adams tonight. He's going to be out with a little bit of knee soreness. Would have loved to seen him, Jarrell Martin, who's looking in really good nick, ready for a big season, and RJ Hunter together. How rare is it to have an import trio who all have a past history, and that history involves the head coach as well, who's been around? It's extremely rare, and it's going to make the Kings a really tough unit.
They have the potential to be if not, certainly one of, if not the best import trio in the league over the course of the season. You mentioned their outs. DJ Vasiljevic, of course, with the Achilles back before the new year is the word. No Jordan Hunter, fractured finger. Timeline still to be announced, so that's a big out for them in preseason. The two Maker boys, Makua Maker with the ankle, he'll miss the first few Blitz games. Matua Maker out with knee soreness, and as you say, Jalen Adams, their star import point guard. For the Phoenix, I want to talk about Judd Flavel, the man in the middle of that huddle. Simon Mitchell, the head coach of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, is up in the stands. He's chatting with Melbourne United head coach Dean Vickerman right there, top left of your screen. And he's handed the reins to Judd Flavel tonight. And I love it. 16-year veteran of the NBL, was part of 4 titles with New Zealand. Judd Flavel, former tallback in his own right, and he's won 2 titles as a head coach in the NZNBL. This is something we've seen some coaches do over the years in the NBL. We saw Trevor Gleeson, he did it with Adam Ford, who became a head coach. He did it with Matt Nielsen, who's moved on to bigger and better things. Judd Flavel is a head coach ready to go in the NBL. Somebody just needs to sign the man.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? And we've seen it, as you said, a lot of times around the league, and it happened to Simon Mitchell, and I was there with Dean Vickerman. He let Simon Mitchell run a bit of the preseason action. Judd Flavel will love this opportunity, and he'll love it more that he gets to be the first coach for Zhou Qi in his first game in the Blitz, and both teams are a little shy on players. They're missing some star guys. The Phoenix are missing a couple of guys, including Cam Glidden, who's coming back off that hip surgery.
Well, who they will have, though, is their new point guard in town, replacing Kiefer Sykes. His name is Xavier Mumford.
Really excited to see what Xavier Mumford brings. We talk about the Phoenix, their 3rd year in the league. Each year they've had a really electric point guard, haven't they? You talked to John Roberson, Kiefer Sykes last year, Mumford coming in to try and fill that void. And again, they're coming back with guys who they expect to have big roles. Liafa looked really good in the preseason from all reports. Kyle Ladnam signing on again. But the one man besides Zhou Qi I'm looking forward to seeing in the first hit out, that man right there, number 45, Ryan Brokoff. Struggled last year, long gap before he could play games. He's feeling healthy, he's feeling good, comes in refreshed. Let's see what Rowdy gives us.
Fascinating starting lineup for the Sydney Kings. RJ Hunter not out there. Sean Bruce, Angus Glover, great to see him back out on the floor this preseason. Wani Swakala Bullock, the injury replacement for DJ Vasiljevic. and Xavier Cooks and Jarrell Martin in the front line.
Yeah, very interesting though, RJ Hunter, whether you think there might, if there's some sort of niggles there or just plans for Chase Buford thinking of the lineup he's going to run with when everybody's healthy. Everyone loves to have a point guard they can trust. That's been Sean Bruce over the last few years in a Sydney Kings uniform.
We're underway. Kings with the opening possession. Bruce making plays. Martin down the lane. Beautiful offensive set from the purple and gold.
Well, went straight at Joe Chi, didn't they? Put him in an on-ball screen, seeing what he can do. But Jarrell Martin looking really good. Had to deal with a couple of injuries last year, but when he got going, one of the toughest covers in the league, as is this man, Mitch Creek.
It'll be a fun matchup. Cooks on Creek. Liafa open on the arc. Can't hit. Martin and Cooks fight over it. And the import takes it away. Here comes Glover. Pick and roll with Jarrell Martin. Downhill to the rim. And he can't squeeze it through the hoop.
Just good to see Angus Glover out there. Just been dealt a horrible hand over his short career and exciting future career. Just see him back out there in the purple and gold.
Liafa tries to turn the corner on Bruce. Tough defensive player. Broke off. Catch and splash from long range from the former Boomer.
Well, you think that'll do his mental game any better? That's perfect way to start for Ryan Broekhoff. Just steps straight into it, semi-contested, knocks that down, and I think everybody wants to see him get back to where he was at before he had that 12 months off after the NBA and then signing with the Phoenix.
Had a closed-door scrimmage against the Breakers the other day. The Phoenix won by 20, and Broekhoff's form was one of the talking points coming out of that hit out, and he opens his account from long range in this one. Liafa can't hit. Swakala Bullock hands it off to Jarrell Martin. Wants to go one-on-one with Chi. Turns it down. Bruce off his own foot. And the ball will go back to the Phoenix. Sean Bruce, third year with the Kings. Averaged 7 points and 4 assists, 25 minutes per game last season. And in the absence of Jalen Adams, he'll be their primary ball handler and playmaker in this one. Here's Munford, the new import PG for the Phoenix. Creek. Chi a little late for the on-ball. Munford from long range, and it's a brick. Sean Bruce right down Main Street. Oh, I think Liafa was there. The officials, I think maybe they disagree. Blocking foul on Liafa. Well, Sydney will take it out.
He read it right, timed it right. Just looked like he got hit on the side a little bit, not straight through the chest, but good idea from Liafa trying to slow down that break.
There's the matchup I was talking about. Xavier Cooks and Mitch Creek. Cooks re-signing on a new one-year deal. They're going one-on-one in the block. Munford with the steal. He's on the attack now. Numbers arrive. Broekhoff, Liafa, Creek on the weak side. Lets it fly, and it's Cash. 6 points for the Phoenix off Broekhoff and Creek 3 balls.
Well, he said it last game with the Breakers putting up a lot of 3 balls. The Phoenix are designed to take a lot of threes and want to make a lot. That's just the way they've played. Been one of the best offensive output teams over the last 2 years since they entered the league. The problem has always come down the other end. Can they get enough stops? There are no problems putting those points up. Can they get enough stops to do it? And that's what they're really focusing on this year, is coming in, having a big defensive identity. And that man guarding Jarrell Martin is going to have a big part to say in that.
Go screen from Bruce. Screen and pop. Can't hit the straightaway 3. Here comes Creek. Rips it, pushes it, pulls up, and drills it. Back-to-back 3 balls from Mitch Creek.
Stepping in, transition there from Mitch Creek.
9-2 Phoenix. Swakala Bullock. He can't answer. And here comes Southeast Melbourne. Chase Buford's up on his feet. The new head coach of the Kings. Creek's feeling it. Broekhoff. Creek. He's got Martin now. They kick it out. 10 on the shot clock. Liafa off the Chi screen. 1 foot. Bruce gets a piece of it. Good defense there from the veteran. Foul on Liafa. Good job from Sean Bruce. Just a settling play at both ends of the floor from Sean Bruce.
We spoke a bit about the defense focus for the Phoenix. The Kings are going to be like that. Chase Buford has come in demanding that they be a strong defensive unit. Bit tougher now with a lot of key pieces missing, but you think when they all get healthy and they can run through their roster, they're going to play deep because they're going to get up and in, be ultra aggressive on the defensive end, really rotate through guys, use their length. They've got some exciting athletes on the roster. As we said, they're a bit undermanned. Sean Bruce takes it all the way to the hoop for 2.
He scores that over the outstretched hands of the 7'1" Chinese superstar. Good finish from Bruce. Handoff, Creek. Tarangi's into the game for the Phoenix. Broke off. No hesitation. He's feeling good. 2 triples for Creek, 2 triples for Brokoff, and the Phoenix lead 12-4.
Well, perfect start for Brokoff and Mitch Creek, but just everything that's been talked about, all the outside noise for Ryan Brokoff just settling down as Jarrell Martin tries to answer back. That is way off the mark, and here go the Phoenix.
Munford on the attack. Chi with the ball screen. Nothing doing, so they flip it to the other side of the floor. Brokoff blocked by Swakala Bullock. Great defensive play, but Brokoff picks off the pass. Turnover, sloppy play from both teams. Sydney will take it.
What's what we expect for a bit of the preseason rust, but there's no rust on the shooting from Mitch Creek and Ryan Brokoff. How good is it to see? There he is there. We're going to keep talking about it because he came in, was inconsistent last year, started to look really good before going down with that injury at Illawarra.
Had 26 points that night, 7 of 11 from long range.
Just thought while we were about to see Ryan Brokoff step back into his form as Martin tries to tee up another one, no good. But this is really promising to see him knock down those 2.
Tarangi. Adnam's into the game. The Phoenix captain tries to join in the party and can't hit from long range. Bruce kicks it ahead. And out of bounds, that's Jalen Galloway. Has checked in for some early minutes for Sydney. Timeout. Chase Buford wants to have a bit of a chat about it. Good, strong start from the Phoenix. And let's talk about Chase Buford, former coach of the Wisconsin Herd, first year in charge of the Kings, replacing Adam Ford. And I liked the tweet from him last night. He said, I get to coach a real live basketball game for the first time in 616 days tomorrow. Couldn't be more excited. Had that coached the Wisconsin Herd and had that 1920 season cut short from COVID. Of course, spent some time with the Bucks in their championship campaign last season, but you just can sense the enthusiasm for him to get his hands on this team and get started.
So there's no chance he was going to do the Simon Mitchell, let an assistant take over the Blitz?
Not today.
Not today. But no, it's great, isn't it? And coming in and, as we said a little bit, coming in with the relationship of these imports, having coached them before, fascinating to see how that all works because we know how important culture is. But the Kings roster overall, I found it astounding to find out on Thursday how young they are. Sean Bruce, the oldest, at 30. And we talk about a team that in the couple years past have had the likes of Daniel Kickett, Brad Newley. Sean Bruce being the veteran of the squad at 30 years old. They've got young guys all over the floor, but most importantly, they've got guys who have this past relationship. And you get the core that's coming back on that same page. Chase Buford has a nice little package to work with.
When you speak about some of that youth, Bawali Bales, the rookie, Tom Vodanovich in there, Jaden Hodgson, the DP, Jalen Galloway also out there. He's a DP, fully contracted next season. So a very young group on the floor for the Phoenix. With all those key players out, they get a stop. Tohi Smith-Milner has checked in for the Phoenix. He's guarding Jarrell Martin. Here comes Bawali Bales. Going to work on Kyle Adnam. Exciting young point guard out of Redfern, and he sticks the pull-up.
Well, these first substitutions, you're wondering if there might be a little bit of something going on with RJ Hunter as well. Not in that first substitution rotation. Sitting on the end of the bench, as that's going to count from Mitch Creek. Sitting on the end of the bench next to Jalen Adams. Jalen Adams in his tracksuit. RJ Hunter not in his tracksuit. So we'll find out what's going on there. But yeah, severely undermanned. Mitch Creek does not care right now. He is going to the line for a three-point play.
Well, they're the cagiest in the league when it comes to injuries, the Kings. Let me put that out there. And so there's been no official word, certainly none that's come our way about RJ Hunter. You'd have thought he'd have checked into the game by now, but you're right. Signs suggest he probably won't. So that's another big, big name not out there at this point for the Kings. Jarrell Martin's going to need to carry a bit of a load. Trailing by 9 early in this one, midway through the first quarter. Bales wheeling and dealing on Creek, steps back, can't hit it. Mitch Creek in transition. He's trying to back in the rookie point guard. That's a tough spot to be in. And he holds his own. Broke off. Skip pass to Creek. Ball's popping around the perimeter for the Phoenix. Adnam, that's short. A stop for Sydney. Can they cash in down the other end? They flip it across the floor. Here comes Jalen Galloway. We saw his brother playing for the Breakers in the first game tonight. Gets his way to the free throw line.
Well, good strong take there, and we said the Phoenix going to love to shoot that three ball, and right now they're 4 of 10 from deep, only taking 2 other field goals. They right now are just getting them all up as another substitution. And you can see RJ Hunter in the warm-up top in between Jalen Adams.
Galloway, as I said, DP this year, fully contracted next season, re-signed on a multi-year deal this past off season. Of course, represented Australia at those FIBA Under-19 World Cup in July in, I think it was Latvia. Played really well in that tournament, and they're high on him, the Kings, and his potential, what he may bring over the course of that contract and beyond. Adnam, step back. That's off. Xavier Cooks pulls down the board.
I think another really important piece for the Kings, Xavier Cooks. You know, he dealt with at the Boomers camp opportunity and dealt with a couple of injuries last year. Trying to get back on track. He's really exciting. Crashes the glass hard. Slashes tough, and really good defender. The length that he has on him, the athleticism, that's why part of that Boomers conversation. Just trying to stay healthy now because he's going to be a really important piece to this Kings unit.
Would just love to see him have an uninterrupted NBL campaign. Of course, joined the Kings midway through that, was it 1920 season when they went to the Grand Final series, but always hard to come in. Geez, he had a great impact. One of the league leaders in rebounds and blocks, and then had a runway towards a massive season last year, and got hurt in the preseason. So, as you say, it would be great to see him hit the ground running and stay healthy throughout this year, Xavier Cooks. Here comes Adnam. Creek off the board, no good, and the foul on Joe Chi. It looked like Tom Vodanovic just maybe turned his ankle there. Was it Vodanovic? Yeah, as he came down, he's looking to shake it off.
Yeah, caught a little bit there. He's going to go down the other end to shoot 2 as the Phoenix are in the bonus. So always trying to shake that off when you've got a chance to get a couple of cheap points. But the Phoenix, that's the whole thing, is trying to get everybody on the same page, play at a certain standard. And that little hit out behind closed doors with the Breakers, you said the Phoenix, they were very happy with the way they played overall, and that's what Mitch Creek was saying is the benchmark. That is how they always have to play to that level. They showed it in flashes last year, and I tell you what, the one thing talking to a couple of the Phoenix guys is they remember how last year ended. They were 1/2 away from making a grand final series, and that really stung. And in particular, remember the change rooms at Kudos Bank Arena, so you can hear the opposition, Melbourne United, and that's something that has stuck with them, and they want to go a step further. And it's going to start with a really strong season. It's going to be carried by that man right there.
Mitch Creek with his 3rd triple of this opening term. Shot a career-high 39% from long range last season. 12 early points in this one. 3 of 4 from long range. Bales. Oh, that was nice. Getting into the lane. Vodanovic, good effort. Gets it back. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Galloway can't knock it in. Here comes Creek. Dangerous in transition. Mumford gives it back to Creek. Tries to draw the foul, and he gets the whistle. That's a veteran superstar call, that one for Mitch Creek.
Well, it will be in a bit of an adjustment here at the Blitz for the Kings, just with how many key players they have out. Great opportunity for the young guys to come in and just see what they can do. Swakala Bullock stepping back onto the floor with Sean Bruce. Because you talk about key guys, some heavy minute guys who are not going to be there.
Yeah, this is an almost fully fit Phoenix lineup. No Cam Glidden, as you said earlier, with still recovering from the hip surgery. No Dane Pinot in this one. Shout out to Dane Pinot, no doubt watching from home. He's out. He's in the COVID protocols right now. And, geez, he would have been excited to get back out there. Vodanovic draws the foul on Joe Chi.
Well, it's
showing
tough.
No fear.
It's tough, isn't it? Because of the injuries he went through last year and had a few more than just the back and looked like he was back on track. And I think the original goal months ago was so he could play some NBL 1. Wasn't quite ready, but starting to feel good about himself. We know how important he was to the Phoenix outfit, one of their best on-ball defending big men. Had a couple of 20 rebounding effort games.
He had 39 rebounds over the course of 2 games.
Just outstanding, and would have been itching to get back in. We can't wait to see him get back on the floor as Joe Chi just picks up his second foul, and in comes Tristan Forsyth. So that's exactly what Dane Pinot would have slotted right in.
And that'll be the blueprint, won't it? That'll be the game plan coming in against Joe Chi for teams throughout the season. Is go at the shot blocker. Attack him like Sean Bruce did, like Tom Vodanovic did right there. See if you can pick up some early fouls, because he's going to try to contest you at the rim. And that's worked out well for Sydney thus far. 8-point margin. They get a stop right here. A chance to eat into this Phoenix lead. 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Bruce finds Cooks. Beautiful offense. Can't knock it in, Xavier Cooks, and a foul called on the rebounding contest. Cooks picks up the personal.
Well, this is where they really do miss Pinot, because Toby Smith-Milner comes back into the league, signing with the Phoenix, picks up 2 quick fouls, and Joe Chi 2 fouls as well. And Forsyth got to hold the fort down the rest of this quarter, and you think for start a bit of the second.
Here is Forsyth, finds Munford. This is where he's at his best, Xavier Munford. Draws the foul there. But his ability to score in a variety of ways, and especially off 2 feet, in and around that kind of mid-range, he's going to be a tough cover over the course of this season. Interesting pickup, 29-year-old combo guard. He's played in the G League, in Europe, spent time with Memphis and Milwaukee in the NBA, averaged 14 points per game in Turkey last season. And they look at him as a guy with that size and length who can play on or off the ball. And they look at what they've got in Kyle Adnam and Isaiah Liafa, and they say, well, we want the kind of guy who can, at times, share the floor with them, and we don't lose anything at either end of the floor.
I think that's the most important thing, is Sean Bruce turns it over here, is he is that combo guard. You look at their last 2 years, they've got ball-dominant guards in John Roberson, as Ryan Brokoff tries to keep hot, comes off left. Kyle Adnam with the putback opportunity. Wasn't going to dunk it, but nice little offensive putback. But you're right. You have a guy that you can give Kyle Adnam the chance to bring the ball up. Liafa to bring the ball up. Mitch Creek plays the point guard a lot when he gets the ball off the glass, but that's why it's a really good signing to have him fit in alongside this team. They're still going to get Cam Glidden back. We know how important he is to the Phoenix. And then when Ryan Brokoff looking the way we've expected so far, that's going to be awesome to see him. He's going to have a lot of minutes. I love that they can throw Mumford in different positions and expect good things.
They got another piece to add. Of course, they got an import. Well, they got 2 import spots up their sleeve. They got 1 more fully contracted roster spot to fill, and we await further word from them. I should imagine sometime in the coming days.
Oh, of course you know something.
To tell you the honest truth.
Of course you know something.
Adnam takes the lead out to 13 for the Phoenix. Cooks, great take and 1 finish. Xavier Cooks put his head down and made a play at the rim.
Well, going to get a big opportunity tonight with those guys out. Xavier Cooks just doing what he does best. He puts his head down. We talk about his athleticism, the ability to finish around the rim. Tough cover.
They're going to need plenty from Cooks, plenty from Martin, plenty from Sean Bruce tonight. If they're going to hang with this Phoenix squad, with all those Sydney bodies out. Adnam with the floater extends the Phoenix margin. A minute and change remaining in the first.
A lot of talk about Adnam and Liafa in the off-season with what was happening with Tasmania having a couple little chats to both guys, and both coming back to the Phoenix to build on what they have. It's going to be out of bounds Phoenix ball. Give Simon Mitchell the opportunity to run different lineups, who's playing well at certain times. Both brought different sparks last year. Kyle Ladnam, when Kiefer Sykes was injured, had that 13 assist game as a starting guard. He can come in and do that as he knocks down the 3 ball. Simon Mitchell can do whatever he wants, juggle up a lot, especially in this preseason.
Well, they have been on fire from long range in this first quarter, the Phoenix. Out to an early 16-point lead. Bruce finds Bales, lines it up. That looks good. It's long. Broke off with the board. Less than 10 seconds remaining. Adnam has to make a play. The countdown, ignore the time on your screen. Broke off to beat the buzzer. And that's off. 29-13. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix with a dominant first quarter display against an undermanned Sydney Kings squad doing their best to hang tough.
Well, it started the way I'm sure all Phoenix fans and even the teammates wanted it to start, didn't it? Broke off hitting a couple threes. Mitch Creek looking like the best shooter on the team, to be honest. Knocked down 3 of them. In transition was a couple. Just really enjoying himself out there. Really strong start, but as we've seen in the last 2 years, offense never really going to be an issue with the Phoenix. It's what they do on the defensive end, and they were good. Look at that, 4 of 15 from the Kings, only 27%. No threes made of 7 attempts, and went to the free throw line a couple times. Xavier Cook started to put his head down, but ultimately they'd be happy with what they could do. And Joe Chi picked up a couple of fouls, but you see how he changes the way guards have to get in there. They got to try and finish above him. Their floaters got to be on, finishing away from the rim. I love that the Kings are attacking him. As you said, that's what's going to happen. Teams are going to attack Joe Chi downhill. But even if he doesn't block it, he's going to alter and change a shot. So you've got to be ready with some high arcing floaters to try and get around him. And there's our leading scorer, Mitch Creek. What an outstanding first quarter. 3 threes, 3-point play. Kyle Adnam off the bench and Ryan Brokoff splashing down those 2 threes.
So let's keep this in perspective and place this in its proper context. This 16-point early lead for the Phoenix. There you get a look at the rebounding leaders. There haven't been a lot of boards available down, certainly not at the Phoenix end of the floor. A whole heap of key players missing for the Kings in this opening preseason hit out for them. Dejan Vasiljevic, we know he's not going to be back for a little while, but he's going to be important for them in the second half of the season. Jordan Hunter is a big one. Fractured finger is the word out of the Kings over the last couple of days. He's heading back to Sydney after completing his media day responsibilities, and that's big because he's a key part of their front court rotation alongside that man, Jarrell Martin, and also Makua and Matua Maker. The next star, ankle, he'll miss the first 3 Blitz games. Matua Maker out with knee soreness, but on top of all of those, their import duo in the backcourt. Now we've had word about Jalen Adams and him being rested due to knee soreness, but wondering what's the go with RJ Hunter. Hasn't hit the floor yet. Sharp shooter with NBA experience, and doesn't seem like he's right to go today.
Well, you wonder, he's in the warm-up top. You wonder, good pass there from Mumford to Forsyth, who comes up short. If maybe something happened in warm-ups or he wanted to test something out and didn't feel good. He's on the end of the bench in the green shoes. Doesn't look like he is too checked in to be getting on the floor as Sean Bruce goes straight at the bigs. Doesn't get that to go. So the Kings, we said it, heavily undermanned, trying to get back into this one.
Here's Adnam, guarded by Swakala Bullock. Pulls up from 3 off the Forsyth screen, can't hit. Here comes Glover, good to see him back out there. Looks to be moving well too. Back from another season lost due to injury. A little out of control there. Mumford finds Adnam, finds Brokoff, and he finds the front of the rim.
Well, again, a lot of threes up and playing really fast-paced offensively. They want to get a lot of shots up as Glover downhill. That's what he does. He's an athlete down the other end. Good to see Angus Glover back out there and attacking. And talk about key guys missing, and we're going to harp on it for the rest of this game. But Jalen Adams is one who is going to be their main guy. And he comes in highly touted and has played some big basketball looking forward to seeing what he brings. That's a big out, and they're going to play alongside Sean Bruce at times, and they have that little 1-2 punch. But Vasiljevic, we know what we can expect from him. Looking forward to seeing what he can do when he comes back. But ultimately, these guys, you see those 4 guys sitting in the bench, they're going to be some key pieces.
Absolutely. And Jalen Adams, he's a gun. The Phoenix were one team that were well and truly trying to get Jalen Adams at one point during the off-season. The Kings were able to get that done. Former Milwaukee Bucks two-way guy. Also spent time with Atlanta and Portland as Sean Bruce ties it up there with Kyle Adnam, and the ball will go to the Kings. They averaged 21 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists in that season under Chase Buford at the Wisconsin Herd. Can really make plays, Jalen Adams, and he's going to be a tough cover over the course of the season. And I've just received word actually from that RJ Hunter unfortunately just tweaked his groin in warm-up. So just when they needed every warm body out there on the floor, he wasn't able to reach the tip-off as Vodanovic scores in transition.
Oh, it is unfortunate because that's at least a couple players they would have loved to have already, having ruled out with Jordan Hunter going back, and Jalen Adams. That's good from Vodanovic to come in and have that kind of impact.
Phoenix ball on the baseline. Good couple of minutes here from the Kings. They put the clamps on the Phoenix. Got a few stops in a row and dragged it back to 12. Broke off. He's offline. Glover in transition. Vodanovic barking instructions. Swakala Bullock guarded by Brokoff. Cooks trying to make a play on Smith-Milner. It's a shell drill right now for the Phoenix. 5-out offense from the Kings. They come up short. Oh, Adnam zigged while Mitch Creek was zagging.
Judd Flavel going to call a timeout here just to settle down the troops. And as you said, a shell drill down the other side. Xavier Cook's ahead of steam. That's what you like to see. Toy Smith-Milner on him, trying to get downhill, came up short. But the Phoenix, 6 of 16 from 3. Only taken 10 other field goals. That's what they're going to live with. You can see Daniel Kickett there, part of the Kings coaching staff.
Legend. An absolute grade of Australian basketball. We talk about Dave Anderson and all the incredible work he did in Europe over a long period of time. Well, Daniel Kickett likewise, and he was a real trailblazer in terms of Aussies playing at a high level of college basketball in the States. And his time at St. Mary's, and now two-time member of the 50-40-90 club in the NBL, the inaugural member, and now a new member of the Sydney Kings coaching staff, and a great addition he is as well.
And assistant coach there, Fleur McIntyre, coming in. So that's a really nice addition, very highly touted, highly regarded. Great person, but an even better coach. So it's a nice little group there for Chase Buford to work with. And I'm sure he's probably looking at kicks right now with those injuries, thinking, mate, wouldn't mind a bit of 50-40-90 tonight with some injuries out there.
What can the Kings do to try to keep chipping into this lead? Martin on the attack. Oh, nice move. Jarrell Martin just couldn't get the finish as he got the step on Smith-Milner and Creek. Creek over Glover. Smith-Milner with the putback.
Well, Mitch Creek just going straight through Angus Glover. Looked like he didn't even see him in his way. That's what the Phoenix do. You saw Toy Smith-Milner get that rebound and just take it straight down the other end. They play some fast-paced basketball, and here they go again off the ball with Mumford.
Here is Creek. He's been feeling it from range. Turn that one down. Martin, good defense. Now here comes Martin on the attack. Oh, behind the back. Flips it to the corner. Glover too strong. Judd Flavel wants the Phoenix to chill a little. Get the ball through some hands. 10 on the shot clock here for Liafa. Flips it to Mumford. and he can't hit from long range. Sean Bruce gets the mismatch with Smith-Milner, who moves his feet pretty well there, stays in front. Single digits on the shot clock for Glover. Liafa on him. Kicks it to the corner, and a travel called on Jaden Hodgson as he shuffles his feet and turns it over.
Well, it's great defense from the Phoenix and really good communication behind the ball. Every time they tried to send Jarrell Martin up, they were passing him off from big to guard, so that anytime he set a screen, the switching man was going to be a guard on him, and that was really well done. That way there was never going to be a mismatch, and that's just really good communication. Started with Mitch Creek and Ryan Brokoff down the back.
Here's Mumford, gets open on the ball screen and can't hit. Martin bodies up Smith-Milner, sends him sprawling. Hodgson, Bales. At 1 year with the University of Hawaii, Bales. Foul on Liafa down low. Good foul. Professional foul as Martin was spinning his way to the bucket.
It was a mismatch. They throw it into Jarrell Martin, and that's what we saw last year. Jarrell Martin around that mid-post area when he catches it. He's got that face up, that little one-dribble step back. Can put it a ball on the floor. Loves the spin move, especially when he gets close to the rim. Really good finisher. Moving well, Jarrell Martin. In for a big NBL 22, you'd think.
Bales, oh, nice crossover. Draws the foul on Munford. I'm excited for Bawali Bales and this opportunity that he has right now with Jalen Adams not playing. First preseason game. He's a very, very talented 19-year-old rookie, and he gets some extended run. Creek, steal, bucket in transition.
Well, we talked about the Phoenix defense and how important it is this year. Mitch Creek's been leading the charge when he's not even on the ball. He's the one being vocal behind, switching with everybody, talking, communicating. You see him there in the back of the screen pointing. He's going to be the spearhead, and that's going to help as well. Good defense on the on-ball screen. Mumford and Smith-Milner nearly come up with a turnover. That'll make Simon Mitchell in the stands very happy, but that'll make Judd Flavel even happier on the sideline.
He might be the most experienced NBL coach in the league outside of, I'm going to say, Brian Gorgian and Dean Vickerman, Judd Flavel, and has been overlooked for a number of head coaching opportunities. I thought for a minute there he was going to get that Brisbane job. They went in a different direction with James Duncan, who's an excellent coach in his own right. But NBL teams, when a head coaching job becomes available, would be wise to make sure Judd Flavel is well and truly a part of their interview process.
Absolutely, and that's why you love to see Simon Mitchell do this, and it's something that you see when you build a successful culture around your program, especially the Phoenix, who are now solidifying themselves in the league, and you grow your players as well as your coaching staff. Rewards tends to happen. It happened to Simon Mitchell himself. Now he's hoping it happens to Judd Flavel's Angus Glover. Knocks down the three ball. That'll be great. Little settler for Angus Glover back on the floor.
Oh, just a sight for sore eyes, that is Angus Glover. Up and about, moving well, shooting well. And fingers crossed for a fully healthy season for that talented young man. Here's Hodgson. Good decision, finds Martin. And he can't knock down the open three ball.
It was a good block down the other end by Galloway. Might have got away with a little bit, but it didn't matter. Ended up getting a really good look, as you said. Good decision. As Ruben Tarangi steps into a three ball. It's off the mark, and Galloway cleans it up.
Here comes Bales. Wants to attack Xavier Munford. Kicks it out. The ball popping for the Kings, and Galloway knocks it down. Good offensive possession for Sydney. Cuts the margin to 10.
Great 60 seconds for Galloway, starting with that block. Making his presence felt. They're back within 10. Can they get a couple more stops?
Smith-Milner hands off to Brokoff. Just gets a little extra separation. Good recovery from Galloway. So 5 seconds on the shot clock. Good defensive set for Sydney. And the ball trickles out of bounds. 2 seconds to play with for the Phoenix.
2 seconds on the shot clock, and in comes Joe Chi. The Sydney Kings trying to pack that paint. And they get the big fella going. Picked up the 2 fouls, only played 5 minutes. Couple of rebounds.
You can see Tom Vodanovic wise to those plans, just making sure his teammates don't get surprised by a lob play. You'd think it'll be either Chi at the rim or Brokoff off those staggered screens. Catch and shoot. Creek. Chi. And the foul called on the Kings. Joe Chi to the free throw line.
Good follow by Joe Chi. Nice little play there. A couple of curl cuts. Mitch Creek. I want to go foul, but it didn't matter because Joe Chi going to the line. Trying to see a couple go down, get on the scoreboard.
Averaged 20 and 10 with a couple of blocks for the most part, year after year in the CBA in recent times. Joe Chi, 3 times Defensive Player of the Year as he sent shots packing. Around 3 blocks a game. And of course spent time with Houston after being drafted into the NBA in 2016. And it's going to be a big piece for the Phoenix this year as they try to take another step forward after their semi-final campaign last season.
Well, he's been great off the court from all reports as well. From what the player said, as Vodanovic learns that you're probably not going to be able to just do a little jab and shoot them deep over the big fella.
It's not quite the space you think you have. Brokoff on the attack. He's moving well.
Isn't he just?
Ryan Brokoff takes his tally to, well, that'll be 8 now and 5 boards. And here he is again in transition over Martin. Can't finish,
oh,
but
there it is.
Joe Chi can.
There it is. That's we're going to see that a lot this season. Timeout Kings. Joe Chi cleaning up the mess. But as you said, Ryan Brokoff looking really good, looking confident, and looking like he's having a lot of fun out there. Gets the Euro, well defended by Jarrell Martin. Joe Chi doesn't have to do a lot to clean up those misses.
Timeout called. There is RJ Hunter. As I said, the late word just tweaked his groin in the warm-up, so he's going to sit this one out. Smart move. No need to risk anybody in that situation here at the Blitz, but as a result, with all those other bodies sitting out, heavily undermanned Sydney squad, and they're finding things tough out there, trailing by 16.
Well, they are. What you can't do when you're undermanned and against a team with this offensive firepower is turn the ball over. And even if it wasn't a turnover, that quick shot by Vodanovic blocked by Joe Chi allowed the Phoenix to get out on the break. And really good follow-up, good work ethic by Joe Chi on one end to get down and clean up that mess. But look after the ball, get good shots. It was looking good when Bales was getting downhill, Xavier Cooks downhill, Angus Glover started to chip in. It's all about just trying to slow down the game because I know they're going to want to play a lot quicker when they get their full cohort back. But right now, the way the Phoenix plays, playing right into their hands.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because, Chase, you know, you're trying to use these preseason games to work on who you want to be, what you've been doing at practice, the system and the philosophy that you want to play with, and that's how Chase Buford wants to play. Space it out, stretch it out, push the ball, make plays. You look at the spacing that they're playing with here. There's nobody in the block, everybody facing the rim, and you get in this situation, you're heavily undermanned. Well, if you're going to get something out of this preseason game, you've got to continue to look on what you do. Mitch Creek can't hit from long range. So a tough coaching situation for Chase Buford under the circumstances. Martin turns it over. Munford finds Creek. He wants Joe Chi down low. Foul on Tom Vodanovic.
Well, no, you're spot on, and that's a way that you can take positives out of it regardless of the scoreboard. If you see those glimpses of thinking, this is how we're going to play, this is our identity, that's going to be okay because in certain aspects, that's going to be the Jalen Adams, that's going to be the RJ Hunters. Then you can take a lot of positives no matter what the score. You just got to try and buy into exactly what Chase Buford is building, and we've seen that in spurts. Their defensive pressure, their ability to try and attack. They've been attacking the big fella Joe Chi down the other end.
Single digits on the shot clock. Floater from Munford, in and out. Xavier Cooks on the attack. He's one of those guys around the league, Cooks, as Vodanovic knocks it down from long range. Handoff from Cooks. just like Mitch Creek, like Finn Delaney has that versatility to rip it off the defensive glass, push and make plays, and Vodanovic cashes in. Creek, Chi, bucket.
Well, it's fun to watch, isn't it, Joe Chi? Just hanging around, gets to the right spots. When he catches it that deep, there's not much you can do about it. He's going up to flush it. So you have the length that the Kings will be able to play with. And when they get their full cohort back, they played with incredible length last year. Xavier Cooks from the kick out of Martin comes up short. And you've got Vodanovic and Cooks out there with Martin. Swakala Bullock as well. You're going to be able to play a really disruptive style, especially on the defensive end.
Munford pick and pop with Creek. He can't hit. Cooks battled well down low with Joe Chi. He cleaned up the defensive glass. Flips it to Swakala Bullock. Finds Cooks. He's working hard, playing hard right now, Xavier Cooks. But they just can't cash in from long range there, and Cooks picks up the personal.
Well, found Cooks, and Joe Chi's picked up his 6th rebound. Making things happen right now.
He's coming out for a rest. Chi? No, it's a timeout. So it's a 15-point lead to the Phoenix. A minute and change remaining in this second quarter. And we've spoken how undermanned the Kings are. Pete, have you been impressed with their endeavour thus far over the course of this game, despite getting down early as a result of a barrage of 3 balls early from the Phoenix?
Yeah, definitely have. I mean, the way they're going about it, you see Vodanovic step into that 3 ball with a lot of confidence, but even Angus Glover coming on, Bale's coming on, showing little signs of what he can do. Sean Bruce is attacking. That's what you want to see. Xavier Cooks, albeit came up short, they're doing what he does best, putting the ball on the floor, attacking the rim. Really positive signs for what the Kings' identity will be this year, and that's exactly how Chase Buford wants them to play, and they are up against it. The Phoenix is still missing a couple of players as well, but ultimately it's those important guys. You're missing your 2 imports and one of the stars of your team from last year. It's going to be a tough break, but still plenty of opportunity to go on this one just to keep building on that.
What they haven't done is let it completely blow out here. You know, it was a 16-point margin earlier in the game, and they've been able to hang tough. It's 15 now. They've still got a minute or so here to try to, cut that even shorter before half-time, and Chase Buford would be pleased with that.
And for the Phoenix, little substitution here. Cohen Sapwell with the ball now, son of the great Rupert Sapwell, and played really well in the NBL 1 for Hobart, and he can absolutely stroke it. So he is on the right team in terms of being...
Oh, here he is. First catch,
well,
Cohen Sapwell. Welcome to the NBL Blitz.
That is Oracle. I'm in mid-season form with that. That's exactly what he does. Comes in and he's got some deep range. Really nice looking shot, and he did that for Hobart all NBL 1, so that'll feel really good. And that's what you want to see. Judd Flavel, you give these guys who are running around an opportunity with some injuries as Glover answers back. 2 for this half, Angus Glover. You feel really good on both ends.
So these 2 teams exchanging 3 balls. It's still a 15-point margin. Creek, right hand off the glass. That's good.
That's what makes Mitch Creek so hard to guard. We've already seen him from outside, but when he gets down low, the ability to use either hand, and that's such a high rate of efficiency like that. Little floater, and he's got the spin, he's got the athleticism to get up on the rim. That's why he's a really tough cover from anybody in this league.
And it was, of course, a tumultuous season for him. Mitch Creek, NBL 21. He was all NBL second team again, as he was in 2018, leading the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in scoring 18 points per game. But he looks fit and ready to go if these first half of this first preseason hit out is anything to go by.
Well, you know how important he is on both ends. I mean, he's their leader. He's been their franchise player since day 1 of the Phoenix coming in to the NBL. And this will be a really exciting and promising start to NBL 22, and you expect big things from him.
10 seconds to play in this opening half. It's not 15 as you see, or 13 there. We're just a tick under 10 seconds to play here. Last chance for the Kings to make something happen before the break. Cooks looking to get downhill. Attack Ruben Tarangi. Vodanovic picks, pops, lets it fly. Cooks with the putback, no good, and that'll do us. After the opening half, it's the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 46, leading the Sydney Kings 29.
Well, strong start from the Phoenix, and then the Kings really hit back, but Phoenix got to flex their muscle a little bit. Joe Chi got going in that second quarter, but the big story, Mitch Creek, the 17 points, 6 of 14, hit those 3 threes early, and hasn't hit one yet. 0 of 3 since, but ultimately he's getting whatever he wants. And normally that will be a matchup for the likes of Jarrell Martin and Xavier Cooks to work together when you've got Jordan Hunter down low. You've got those guys to throw at him. Right now, just undermanned. They don't have an answer for Mitch Creek. Ryan Brokoff looked really good, didn't he? The pep to his step, hit those 2 3 balls, hunting his shot, moving really well, putting the ball on the floor, and that's just music to everybody's ears, whether you're a Phoenix fan or not. To be able to see Ryan Brokoff back to what we expect is exactly what everybody wanted.
Well, as you say, Mitch Creek was well and truly the standout performer at the offensive end. 17 points, a game high, 6 of 14 from the field. As you say, 3 of 6 from long range. What did you make of Xavier Cooks in that opening half? Martin, Cooks, and Bruce are really the guys that are going to be a key part of the rotation who are out there tonight, and you could see Cooks trying his best to make something happen for the purple and gold.
Well, it's the hardest thing about when you're missing some key guys is the other team knows that as well, and the Phoenix know that they're putting a lot of emphasis on Xavier Cooks and Jarrell Martin. Don't want them to get going. He's only got the 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field. Started to look a bit more in attack mode in that second quarter. Got the 6 rebounds, but as you said, when you're missing other guys around to take the pressure off, it's an almighty task, and that's Jarrell Martin as well. Only got the 2 points, 1 of 7 from the field. As soon as they touch it, all eyes are on them.
Here's the team stats. You can see both teams struggling from the field. The Kings sub 30%. Southeast Melbourne 36% for their 46 points, and 4 of 17 from long range for the Kings.
Well, that's the way they're built. The Phoenix, that is, the way they shoot the ball. They've got plenty of shooters, still missing Cam Glidden. Everyone they step on the floor is going to come and take some threes, and they expect to make a lot of threes. And if they're not hitting threes, it's going to be a tough night for them. But they've got enough guys, you think someone or a couple of guys will be feeling good on every single night. And ultimately, that's going to help them go. Kings Vodanovic stepped in with some confidence, knocked some down. Nothing better than seeing Angus Glover back playing, doing what he does best, hit a couple threes in that second quarter. Galloway had a great little spurt in the second quarter as well. And then Kyle Adam chipping in with 8 points off the bench. Spark plug we expected every single year.
There's the rebound leaders, Cooks and Joe Chi leading the way with 6 apiece. Ryan Brokoff making a bit of a contribution as well.
Well, he's doing that because Joe Chi, you see the 6 rebounds. The start of the game when they were attacking him, they had a couple Kings layups that went down. But in the second quarter, you saw they're still trying to do it. It's just going to be something that the Phoenix live with. If you're going to keep making high-arcing floaters, shots over the big fella, you're going to tip your hat and say, well played. But more often than not, you're going to change your shot or it's going to get blocked. You saw that in the second quarter. They got nothing and the big fella got the rebound and off to the races.
Before we take a quick break, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see tomorrow night down in Hobart, the grand opening of the brand new world-class MyState Bank Arena, when the Adelaide 36ers face off against the Cairns Taipans, and of course the Tassie Jack Jumpers. They're going to play in front of their home fans for the very first time ever as they take on Nathan Sobey and the Brisbane Bullets.
Oh, just awesome, isn't it? I mean, that's going to be the big story coming out of tomorrow. The Tassie crowd, everybody is pumped to see the Jack Jumpers step onto the floor. What the new renovations look like. I'd love to be able to get down there and see that. And even in that first game, the Adelaide 36ers, Mitch McCarron appointed captain, well-deserved, well-earned from Mitch McCarron. I like the squad they've put together. Isaac Humphries, let's see how they get rolling. And that'll be an exciting couple of games. We're going to get to see a first hit out and see what's in store for NBL 22.
The winner of the Blitz, of course, awarded the Loggins Bruton Cup. You get a maximum of 7 points from a game because you can get 3 points for winning and then an additional 1 point for winning each quarter. So Melbourne United took 6 points in the opening game tonight, and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, well, they won that second quarter there by 1 point. So they've taken both of those points thus far tonight. And those two names are just absolutely synonymous with the NBL. Cal Bruton, of course, won titles as both a player and a coach and played a huge role in popularizing the game in this country. And Leroy Loggins, well, geez, the numbers just flow across the page. 3-time champion, 3-time MVP, 9-time All-NBL first-team selection, which is
Sounds made up,
incredible.
doesn't it?
It does.
It does. It's just, what a career.
Drew is 15, just quietly, but 9 is an amazing number. And 2-time, of course, he did it at both ends of the floor, 2-time defensive player of the year as well. So it's great every year, the chance to celebrate those two legends. And not only those, Ray Borner as well. The MVP of the Blitz takes home the Ray Borner Medal, NBL champion, NBL MVP, and a 4-time Olympian.
Oh, it's great all around, isn't it? Some massive names in the history of the league, and well deserved, and just nice little flashbacks. NBL history. We'll get to throw some more stuff out for
Who
you.
do you think got the votes in that opening game for the Ray Borner Medal?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Who
Wouldn't know.
Did Joe Luala-Chul snag a vote?
Probably took all of them.
Well, Mitch Creek, the standout performer thus far. We're going to take a quick break as the players receive their instructions in the rooms. It's the Phoenix by, 17 at halftime of the second leg of your opening night doubleheader. And we'll be back after the break. Welcome back to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. It's the second leg of your doubleheader on the opening night of the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz, and it's the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix with a 17-point lead over a heavily undermanned Sydney Kings. And this is a Sydney Kings squad, Pete, that people are pretty high on. You know, you look at the odds from the bookmakers, Sportsbet, and this is a team coming into the preseason as championship favourites, which you spoke about how young this squad is, a brand new head coach. I thought, geez, maybe we're getting a little ahead of things here. Highly talented roster, but I tell you, I mean, if you're a Sydney Kings fan, this is a team to get excited about over the course of this season. Get to Kudos Bank Arena, get your tickets, because it's a team that has a very, very high ceiling over the course of the year.
Well, it is because of when we'll see it, but to get that import trio that have played together in the past, that have a past relationship and a history together, already really good mates, that is huge. That is massive to be able to come in with that sort of chemistry. You add to a core group built of the likes of Sean Bruce, Angus Glover, Jordan Hunter, who are easily can adapt to that. Obviously, a new head coach is going to change the style of things. That ticks a lot of boxes, and it's going to be a really exciting group on the floor when all three of those imports are out there playing together. Haven't seen it, and I'm not sure whether we're going to see too much of it with the Blitz, depending on how those injuries fare, but absolutely really exciting time for the Kings.
A little bit of Blitz history for you. Some good tidbits here from the stat man heading into tonight's game. The very first time the NBL used the term Blitz to describe a preseason event was the first one, and still only one that was played at MSAC, prior to tonight, of course, back in 1999. It was known as the Blitz because they actually condensed the games to 20-minute games only, and each team would play against many opponents quickly. So they had 4 courts of NBL games running at the same time, and he says it was quite amazing to see.
I don't mind that.
You like that?
That's nice. You can do it at MSAC with all the courts opened up and then play 20 minutes, rotate courts, dark team stays, light team moves courts. I don't mind that. A little 2020 action.
And close observers of the league would remember a couple of NBL games. Well, the Victoria Giants, I think, had this as their home court for a season. I remember an amazing game as we're underway here in the second half. South Dragons, New Zealand Breakers. Reece Carter game winner over Bruton. Oh, my. Jarrell Martin in transition. Throws it down. Good start for the Kings.
I know what game you're talking about, Reece Carter. He had a nice little minute patch towards the end. He was balling that whole game.
Offensive foul on Joe Chi. Chase Buford up and about on the sidelines. Strong start for the Kings to open this third quarter.
Wasn't a running sky hook though, was it? That Reece Carter one. That came a bit later.
Hey, brought that out for the Breakers in their championship campaign over the Cairns Taipans. Game 1 in Cairns. Jarrell Martin with another bucket. Going to work on Joe Chi in the half court.
Interesting pick-up right now with no Mitch Creek to start this half, and you saw it with about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Came up hobbling a bit as Liafa comes up short, and there's Joe Chi with the finish. There's going to be a lot of those. And he had a few words to say to the ref. Might have been an and one. We're going to see a lot of that from Joe Chi. But Mitch Creek not on the bench either. So came up with something. Not feeling too good. And no sign of where Mitch Creek is.
There you go. So Tarangi comes into the lineup. Angus Glover draws the offensive foul. Did he? On Joe Chi. And there's a little bit of an exchange of words going on. Angus Glover held his ground. Joe Chi ran him over. Coming off the back of that.
Well, it's called an offensive foul. That's going to be his 4th, I believe, Joe Chi. And I don't think he was aware of where Angus Glover was. It was one of those ones in transition. You don't often like to see someone just jumping in front.
I don't know that he did actually jump in front there. Seemed like I felt like he was there for quite a while.
Well, I wasn't sure. I just knew that the ball wasn't in the way. But Joe Chi probably bit too overzealous, and why wouldn't you be after that little dunker play before?
Well, so a window of opportunity here for the Kings. Started strongly, and Jarrell Martin now. Xavier Cook's catch and splash for long range. Judd Flavel just getting a little hot under the collar right now on the sidelines. as the Kings cut the margin to 12.
We spoke a little bit about Martin and Cooks' first half. Very quiet, didn't try and do too much. You know they're going to be a heavy emphasis. That's going to be an offensive screen. Torrey Smith-Milner trying to do the old veteran move, just trying to stick the backside out a little bit and catch the guard as he goes around the corner. And I reckon Chase Buford has told Xavier Cooks and Jarrell Martin, we know what's happening, we know we're down players. Go out there, play your game, have a bit of fun, and just go out there and do your thing. It doesn't matter if you miss your next 10 shots or whatever. This is first game of preseason. We're down guys. Ultimately, you're our main guys as Jarrell Martin goes at Torrey Smith-Milner, and that's his fourth foul.
Well, Smith-Milner can't guard Jarrell Martin, certainly not when he's in this frame of mind, and when Chase Buford is running an offensive structure that's giving him space to operate. That lane is wide open, and Martin is making plays, and Judd Flavel wants to talk about it. He's two bigs in foul trouble. Chi on 4, now Smith-Milner on 4, as the Kings cut the margin to 12.
Well, it's going to be Tristan Forsyth now, you think, stepping in. This is where no Dane Pinot really hurts. 4 fouls for Smith-Milner, 4 fouls for Joe Chi, and no Mitch Creek sighting after coming up a little sore in that second quarter. You hope it's nothing too much. Just looked to be a little ginger. Played out the rest of the half, so that's a good sign, but ultimately we haven't seen him emerge after half-time, and you think that they could potentially have played small, but here's Jarrell Martin. That's, as you said, Smith-Milner won't be able to stay in front of an aggressive Jarrell Martin. So Chase Buford will be really happy in the timeout. Chud Flavel might have to juggle things around and play some small ball.
Well, this is the versatile skill set that Jarrell Martin brings to the table, and this approach at the offensive end that Buford wants to implement is going to put him in a position to be really effective in this kind of way. Facing up, taking bigger, slower guys off the dribble. And they tried to, the Kings last year under Adam Ford, they tried to put him in some positions to make those kind of plays. Ran some ghost screens early in games to try to give him the opportunity to put it on the deck. Well, he looks even more comfortable in this type of alignment as he goes to work down low, puts it back in. Jarrell Martin going to work right now.
Well, they haven't got an answer for him now. Jarrell Martin, with the big bodies sitting on 4 fouls and injured, he can have a field day in this second half, and he's starting to do that right now.
Tristan Forsyth out there for the Phoenix. He has a big job to do with Jarrell Martin. Munford, catch, he knocks it down. The pull-up from long range.
That's his first field goal. Hit 2 free throws before that. That'll feel good for Munford. And he gets a little opportunity here with their main guy, Mitch Creek, sitting down. Xavier Cook's teeing up another one. That's long. And no Mitch Creek. And I've just been told that he's posted an Instagram story, so not going to see Mitch Creek, you can think. But Ryan Brokoff, that's what we saw in the first quarter.
He's feeling good. Brokoff, this is the Brokoff we saw in the NBA and we saw in the green and gold at the Rio Olympics, the 2014 World Cup. Confident Brokoff, catching it and knocking it down. Good ball movement from the Kings. Jarrell Martin, skies for the board. Copped a little ride there from Liafa, and luckily he's okay.
Kings fans and Chase Buford will be holding his breath, but you love to see the big fella attacking the glass like that. He's looking like he's in the right mindset in this second half. Great ball movement, getting Swackler Bullock, the open one in the corner. Jarrell Martin right now sees green lights everywhere on the floor.
That's a 4th personal on Liafa. 3rd Phoenix player with 4. Martin now a chance to be the first Kings player, make his way into double figures. And you see the Phoenix there over the limit, racking up the fouls to begin this 3rd quarter, and the Kings will be marching to the free throw line for the rest of this 3rd term. 7 minutes to play.
Whatever Coach Buford said at halftime has worked, because they just look a lot more aggressive on both ends, and that started with trying to fight over screens. 2 offensive illegal screens called, one on Smith-Milner, one on Joe Chi. Even a little bit of back and forth, little biff, and
Jarrell Martin right down Main Street.
Well, we said he was looking good in preseason, moving well, and there's the answer. Jarrell Martin, straight down the lane. Ruben Tarangi thought about it, and then he thought, nah, I'm a bit smarter than this, and stepped out of the way.
The Kings are up and about. Munford can't hit there. Ball's out on Sydney, but this is all of a sudden a 13-point game.
And that's what the Kings do. You see it right here, Jarrell Martin. Good look by Sean Bruce, and there you can just see Ruben Tarangi. Actually, there's a photographer under there. Might have done really well, and that might be good for Jarrell Martin's Instagram after this.
Well, you hope he caught the moment, because it was served up to him on a silver platter.
Just love the energy. Whenever they've come out after half time, the aggression, starting on the defensive end, turning defense to offense, the exact way the Phoenix like to play. A bit of taste of their own medicine.
So the word from the Sports and Aquatic Centre is that Creek, yeah, as you say, stood on a guy's foot and rolled his ankle. He's in an ice bucket out the back right now. Tristan Forsyth with the lefty hook. Just a little settling basket there for the Phoenix.
And it was on a little bit of a transition thing, and they called a timeout straight away. He hobbled to the bench as Jarrell Martin tees up a 3-ball, no good, and Brokoff just wiping the glass clean tonight. Came back out and looked a little ginger. Obviously could just play through, but again, pre-season, would have probably mentioned something to the physio, and there's no point at all risking it. And in comes Kyle Adnam, a spark plug off the bench to do what he does well.
A couple of settling buckets for Southeast Melbourne. Here's Glover, finds Bruce, lets it fly, knocks it down. Get used to that from Sydney this season. High-paced, high-powered offense. And Chase Buford filling his guys with confidence to make plays. Munford can't make it from mid-range. Adnam calls up Forsyth, wants the pick and roll. Pulls up from mid-range, and he drills it. Kyle Adnam in his bag all of a sudden.
And that's what you can't let Kyle Adnam do, get to his spot. He gets around that mid-range area. He's got his feet set. That's knocking down. That's his bread and butter. Loves to get there. Swakala boy, I think he's way too easy. Turning the corner for the easy two. And this is exactly why you said they brought in a guy like Xavier Munford. Playing off the ball, Kyle Adnam is the predominant ball handler. Xavier Munford slots right into that two-guard spot and really complements Ryan Brokoff on the wing.
Oh, nice pass from Adnam. Sets up Forsyth, but he can't finish. Here comes Swakala Bullock. He's got Cooks, who grabs it and flushes it.
A little messy there. Swakala Bullock nearly turned it over. Xavier Cooks cleaned up the mess, and still 12-point game, but they've looked a lot better, the Kings. They just got to get a couple of stops and string them together.
And they are pushing it. Angus Glover puts the Jets on. Offensive foul. Good defense from Ryan Brokoff, who read Glover's movements and held his position.
As you said, that is going to be the way they play. They pride themselves on the defense. That's what Chase Buford has made their identity. When you get stops, get out and run. Get out and transition. Try and play a high, fast-paced game. And with those guys missing, that's going to really help the cause. But really good 5.5 minutes from the Kings.
Really good. 12-point game, and a couple of settling baskets for the Phoenix. Xavier Munford from long range, Kyle Adnam back-to-back buckets as well. And you'd imagine temporary head coach Judd Flavel just breathing a little sigh of relief as things started to go a little pear-shaped there to open this third term.
Well, Kyle Adnam doing what he does best when he comes in, that spark plug off the bench. Green light. Has always had a green light, but last year was fascinating to see him emerge when Kiefer Sykes got hurt, and he stepped into that starting role where everyone was wondering how was he going to play, what was he going to dish up, and as you can see on the left of your screen, Adam Gibson, still a big part of the Phoenix program, stepped in and just changed the way he played, facilitating, doing everything, scoring when he had to. Now he goes back to the role where he really flourishes. Comes in, they run plays for him, he can be aggressive and get downhill, make plays for everybody. That's when Kyle Adnam and I think the Phoenix are at their best. But make no mistake, if there is an injury and he needs to step into a starting role, he is more than capable.
It was their third leading scorer last season, Kyle Adnam for the Phoenix. Averaging 13 points a game, just behind Creek and Sykes. So to have that coming off your bench was very helpful. They run some play for Ryan Brokoff here. Munford doesn't find him. Brokoff The spacing all out of whack for the Phoenix. Munford trying to make a play here off the pick. The floater falls short and the Kings get a stop. Jarrell Martin pushes it. He does not feel like Tarangi can stop him. Hands it off. Finds Hodgson in the corner. And that's off Adanovic with the hard work on the offensive glass.
Well, they're doing well, doing all those energy plays, aren't they? And that started on the defensive end. Bale blew up the play that was meant for Brockhoff. They blew that up, got a good stop, played with their chest between the man and the basket. And you see here, a bit late on that, but Tarangi makes them pay. But ultimately, they have really picked up their effort on the defensive end, just a bit late on that, and Tarangi makes them pay.
Geez, didn't he finish last season in scintillating form? Ruben Tarangi, 22 points in that Game 3, the semi-final series. 6 made triples. Martin, too strong down low, can't finish. And Hodgson, the hustle, knocks it out of Tarangi's hands, off his foot. Sydney Kings ball.
Well, it looked like Ryan Broekhoff got in there and got the block. He's having an impact everywhere. 7 rebounds to go with a little block there, and he's 11 points. Moving like the Ryan Broekhoff we've come to know and love over the years, and that's, as we said, really promising. But Jarrell Martin is also moving how we got to see him last year. He's going to take a quick breather, and in comes Xavier Cooks again.
Cooks trying to go to work on Tarangi. Kicks it out. 5 on the shot clock. Hodgson on Adnam. Oh, good take. Tucks it under his arm. Just got a little out of control at the finish. Here comes Munford. Adnam. Munford. Step back. Open on the arc now, and he drills it. Munford and Adnam making plays on the perimeter for the Phoenix.
Well, he's come alive here in this second half. Xavier Munford. 8 points now, 2 of 10 from the field. Struggled a little bit, but a couple of... My goodness. Broekhoff doing it on both ends. That's second block in a number of plays.
He is stat sheet stuffing. 11 points, 7 boards, a dime, 2 steals and 2 blocks for Ryan Broekhoff. 2 minutes to play in the third term. Bales kicks it out. Vodanovic can stroke it. Short arms that one. Galloway lets it fly. That's hard off the iron. Forsyth clears it for Southeast Melbourne. Judd Flavel says, relax. Broekhoff says, I'm going to throw it. They take a little time off the clock, the Phoenix. Pick and roll late in the clock with Adnam. Floater is money.
That's his spot, Kyle Adnam. You let him get to that MG logo. He's going to rise up over and knock it down more often than he doesn't.
Now, what kind of response can the Kings provide? Down 18 now. Cooks can't score there. Broekhoff holds his position, and with Jarrell Martin off the floor, suddenly Southeast Melbourne regaining the upper hand. Turnover there. Here comes Galloway. Oh my! Wow! Strong take in transition from Jalen Galloway.
Athleticism runs in the family. We saw his brother game before, but that was a really confident take. Straight down the lane. The sea kind of parted for him.
Remember the name. He's going to have he has a bright future, and he's going to play a role for this Kings team this season. Yes, they're stacked. Got a whole bunch of talent, but making plays like this, a la Luke Travers in the semi-finals last season, pushing in transition and getting all over the rim.
Well, he fits perfectly into the style that Chase Buford wants. Wants that high-energy defense, the athleticism. When he can get out on the break, spread the floor, you're going to have the opportunity to attack, get down the hill.
Oh, wow, good hands. Foxwell has just come into the game, and he picked Bale's pocket in his first possession. Owen Foxwell, young Victorian point guard, 18-year-old lefty PG, comes out, steal, and he picks up the foul there, and Judd Flavel making sure everybody gets some run tonight.
Well, that's the way to do it. They're still down those key pieces we mentioned, and now Mitch Creek sitting on the end of the bench in street clothes and street shoes. And you got Joe Chi and Smith Milner with 4 fouls.
The upper with 4.
The after with 4, so play a bit smaller, get guys an opportunity. Sappo came in and had that minute and a half, knocked down a 3 ball. Now Foxwell gets his opportunity.
So Vodanovic cuts into the margin. He's battling. Tom Vodanovic. Chase Buford would love the energy he's playing with. Adnam's been causing some troubles. Forsyth's short arms the righty hook. So less than a minute to play here in the third term. In fact, there's 10 seconds to play. So shot clock switched off. Here comes Sean Bruce, guarded by Tarangi. Crosses him up, steps him back, and can't knock it in from long range, and that'll do us. It was an entertaining third term. The Sydney Kings came out with a point to prove. Jarrell Martin on the attack and drawing fouls on the Southeast Melbourne Bigs and making something of this ball game. It's a 14-point margin. The Phoenix 68, Sydney 54.
Well, there's the tail of the tape there. 19 of 56 for the Kings from the field. Looked much better in that third quarter, and it started in the first couple of minutes. Jarrell Martin, Xavier Cooks, their defensive energy as a team was outstanding. The 6 of 26 from deep. But ultimately, that's the way they want to play. Chase Buford will be super happy with the majority of that 10 minutes. Joe Chi got going, had some big dunks, big plays, picked up his 4th foul. And we've seen both in this game and the last game, there's been a fair few illegal screens, offensive moving screens called, which you like to see because the prime example of what a lot of players get away with, as we see the scoring leaders, Vodanovic, as you said, is fighting. Martin got going. Mitch Creek, who's been rubbed out of the game with that little bit of an ankle, but Ryan Brokoff's been outstanding. Kyle Adnam. As I was saying, the Smith Milner, the little veteran screen, turn your body, your back on a handoff, those ones are going to get called a lot, which we like to be able to see. And I'd say the usual suspects of the Kings are on the glass. Martin, Cooks, Vodanovic, but there you see Ryan Brokoff, he's been everywhere. Had 2 blocks, 1 big block in that quarter. And Joe Chi just looked like he started to get going, and unfortunately had that offensive foul and then picked up another foul in transition, and he had to sit down.
Tom Vodanovic, he's got 12 points and 7 boards, so he's the team leading scorer for the Kings and their equal leading rebounder. Martin also 11 and 7, so really good minutes off the bench from Vodanovic. They're going to start with Glover, Bruce, and Cooks, the Kings, along with Swakala Bullock and Vodanovic. Liafa back out there for the Phoenix, along with Foxwell, Smith Milner, Adnam, and Ruben Tarangi. And Smith Milner gets his hands on it, and the Phoenix take it away. Good defense from Swakala Bullock, denying Adnam. Just making life tough. Adnam wants to make a play here late in the shot clock. Pulls up from long range, and Xavier Cooks with the rebound. Glover on the attack. Hands from Foxwell, and that's off Sydney.
Well, he's done that a couple of times since stepping on Foxwell, getting his hands in there. Called for a foul on one of them before the end of the quarter, but timing it well, being a little disruptive, and that'll make Judd Flavel very happy. That's what you want. Be really solid defensively, and if you get the opportunity to get an open 3 ball, step up and knock it down.
Smith Milner flips the screen, gives Liafa some room to operate. He can't hit it. Tarangi cleans it up. Foxwell's looking to attack. Oh, nice move, Owen Foxwell. Crafty finish from the teenage point guard.
Well, that's exactly what you want. Defense on one end and then have the confidence down the other and look like he wanted to pass. That is the seas parting. My goodness.
Xavier Cooks.
Xavier Cooks gone for the handoff, and I'm not sure he meant to fake it, but in the end faked out the entire Phoenix team and threw it down with ease.
He's in double figures now, Cooks. After that, thunderous throwdown. Single digits on the shot clock. Tarangi needs to make a play. attacks Cooks, holds his ground, sends him away. That's a stop for the Kings. 14-point the margin. Cooks on the attack, spinning on Smith-Milner. He comes up short. They need a couple of stops in a row right now, Sydney. They're going to eat into this. Foxwell in the corner. Oh, my. Owen Foxwell having himself a couple of minutes here. Off the bench for the Phoenix.
We couldn't ask for a better script than that, could you? Sometimes a development player get in here with a couple of minutes. Pre-season, missing a couple of guys, get a couple of defensive stops, get a nice up and under, settle the nerves, and then Zaliafa, extra pass. Foxwell knocking down the corner three.
Now Judd Flavel going back to Joe Chi. Here he's got one foul to play with. Tarangi comes out. But boy, he would be wrapped with the contribution of young Owen Foxwell off the bench in this third term. Getting his hands on it defensively, getting to the rim, and knocking down the open three from the corner. Liafa, Smith-Milner lets it fly from range.
Well, you said that Judd Flavel will be happy. You wonder if Simon Mitchell's thinking, no, not again. Well, he's going to have that decision. We had it last year with Liafa coming in when there was injuries throughout the season and played his way into minutes that you couldn't not give, and there was only a certain amount of minutes for those young guards, and Foxwell coming in saying, you know what, I'll add myself to the list.
Oh, turnover from the Phoenix. Chi tracks it down. Martin thought he had a breakaway dunk there for a second. Owen Foxwell's confident. Can't drill that. Now here comes Martin. He's on the attack. He knows Chi's got four. Puts him and the officials under pressure. Comes up short.
Well done by Chi and Smith-Milner the play before. Both Cooks and Martin went at them knowing they're on 4 fouls. And they did well to wall up, and that's what you get. A little drop off by Foxwell. And who's there to finish it up?
Right,
Joe Chi.
Fella. Great take from Foxwell. Drops it off, and the Chinese superstar cashes in. Martin with the step back, long range two.
We were talking a little bit about votes for the cup.
You
Might not be sorted out just yet. Might not be sorted out just yet.
Cuts back door, gets open. Making a name for himself tonight. Foxwell at the NBL level. Floater. Oh. Glover takes it away. Bruce usually makes good decisions in this type of situation. Draws the foul on Liafa.
Man, that's Liafa's night done. That's his 5th foul. Good attack from Sean Bruce. That's the way the Kings play. When you do get stops, get out and run. Put the pressure on the defense that isn't set. Liafa, tough night. The 5 fouls. 0 of 5 from the field. Tough night for Isaiah Liafa in his preseason debut.
6 minutes and change remaining. Closed door preseason action. The opening night of the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. That should have been a foul on Chi. Went unwhistled. Would have ended his night. Adnam splits the difference between Brokoff and Munford, and the Kings take possession.
Definitely looked like a foul, didn't he? You love Bale's confidence just going in there amongst the big fella. Tried to go right through his body, through his arms, didn't get the call. And then the other end, they get it back with the turnover from Adnam, trying to make things happen, getting downhill.
Timeout called. 75 the Phoenix, 58 the Kings. They've hung tough, Sydney, despite their 2 new imports. Their import backcourt, Jalen Adams and RJ Hunter, both out. Adams ruled out prior to the game with knee soreness. RJ Hunter tweaking his groin in the warm-ups. And so they've missed those 2. Matua-Maker, Jordan Hunter, 3 key pieces of their front court unavailable. And of course, Dejan Vasiljevic continues to miss time as he recovers from Achilles surgery. Out of all of those guys that are not out on the floor there tonight, Pete, who are you most excited to see over the course of this upcoming season?
It's got to be Jalen Adams, just from what he's done in the past. If you're a basketball lover, you would have seen him pop up, and a really exciting talent. But RJ Hunter, another one. I mean, I love college basketball, and he's was one that I remember from his days playing college and in March Madness. But Jalen Adams for sure, to be able to see what he does. And speaking to those two in particular at Media Day, they're very high on MK, Makua Maker. Another part of the history they have with him, so another piece of the puzzle that already fits in before the season even starts. And this is what you talk about. It's going to be a fun squad, the Sydney Kings, when they get everybody healthy. And that's the main thing. Get everybody healthy, keep everybody healthy. Jarrell Martin's moving well, and they can cause some issues.
Here's Joe Chi. Hands off to Brokoff. Step back triple, and in and out. Foul called on Martin as he bodied Joe Chi under the bucket underneath.
Ryan Brokoff, just a nice little step back, a little behind the back step back. And that's exactly what we love to see from the Olympian. And Joe Chi trying to clean up the glass. Gets the foul called on Jarrell Martin.
So not a shooting foul, just the first team foul for the Kings in this fourth term. So the Phoenix take it out of bounds underneath. Mumford off the Chi screen, finds Smith-Milner. Chi tries to keep it alive, but Hodgson tracks it down for the Kings. Kicks it ahead to Swakala Bullock, steps in to an open triple and drills it. Cuts the margin to 14.
As you said, that's the style of the play. Little step in stride to knock that down. They get a steal here and they're off and running.
Here they come, the Kings. Martin attacks the rim. Oh, geez, took contact, no whistle, and again makes it count.
And that'll be Joe Chi's night done, fifth foul. And my goodness, the little bit of jelly, if you don't mind, from Jarrell Martin. That looked really good until it didn't when it missed, and then he cleaned it up and got the ammo opportunity. That's Joe Chi's night done. Only played the 14 minutes, 10 points, didn't miss from the field or the free throw line, 8 rebounds, a couple of blocks. Thought he had a really good impact when he was out there. The fouls is going to be a crucial thing, but after getting scored on in the first couple of minutes, really started to alter shots with his length, and that's something that the Phoenix is going to look forward to using. But in the end, Jarrell Martin, really smart play, and the big fella has to sit down.
They are some numbers in 14 minutes of play, 10 and 8 with a couple of blocks. In a foul-riddled game, Adnam, the floater, is nice.
Kyle Adnam up to 16 points, 7 of 14 from the field. Super efficient, a couple of rebounds and assists, doing what he does best. What a spin by Bales.
Goodness me. But Wally Bales put Kyle Adnam in the spin cycle.
Put him straight in the washing machine down the other end.
This is what we talk about this Sydney team being fun to watch this season. And I tell you what's fun to watch, Jarrell Martin in attack mode. And Hodgson knocks it down from long range. So the Kings making some noise in this fourth quarter.
Are they what? Only down 9 now.
It's a single-digit ball game with 4 minutes to play.
And this is what I love is this game looked like it was going to be a blowout, and you could have thought Chase Buford might want to rest his guys, and there's a steal from Bales, and they're off and running again. And that might get looked at as an unsportsmanlike just because he was on the side out of position. Xavier Munford, but again, a steal. Bales is off and running, but Jarrell Martin, Buford kept him out there, said, no, we're sticking with our guns. You're playing well. We're going to have a timeout here.
Well, they don't have access to the replay center in the NBL Blitz. So they won't have the chance to have another look at that. So it'll be the call they made at the time. But you're right, he was a little out of position. Solid play on the ball from Xavier Munford, and he got a whole heap of it. But we'll wait to see what they come up with. But in the meantime, Sydney right back in this thing.
Oh, they were, and it came with getting some stops on the defensive end, and those energy plays, the offensive rebound, Hodgson stepped into a 3, Jarrell Martin going at the big fella Joe Chi, he had to sit down. And you're right, they are right back in this one. No Mitch Creek, if you come back in, he tweaked his ankle in the second quarter, finished it out, and just precautionary, he sat out this second half.
So Jaden Hodgson it was with that 3 ball that cut this margin to single digits. He's been good. Hasn't lit up the box score at all, but played 15 important minutes thus far for the Kings. Development player who well, really, I'm not sure that he is a development player at this point. He was a development player with the Kings way back when. I think in the Damien Cotter era before he went off to college, but certainly has been training with the squad and made his way down to Melbourne with the group, and with all those bodies being out, playing important minutes, and that was an important turnover. Martin and Vodanovic not on the same page. So what has Judd Flavel drawn up in that timeout? The ball's in Munford's hands. He's working off Smith-Milner. Bales making life tough. And Munford up to the challenge.
Well, he's come to play in the second half. Munford struggled with his shot in the first half, but stayed with it. He's looked really comfortable off the ball, and we spoke about why he was an important signing as that combo guard. Kyle Adnam, the ball handler now, and Munford's really stepped up and playing well in that shooting guard position.
Here's Hodgson. Vodanovic again, his work rate high, winning it back for the Kings. They need to get it to Martin. Bales lets it fly, in and out, and Ryan Brokoff comes up with it.
Brokoff has been everywhere, just stuffing the stat sheet. We said it's easy to highlight how good he's been as Xavier Cooks and Glover come to check in and try and get the Kings over the line. What's been a really back and forth game in these last few minutes, and Vodanovic called for the foul.
Late call too.
And Chase Buford looks like he asked for a challenge, but we're not going to get that in the preseason, coach.
Yeah, geez, that was a tough whistle. Brokoff really initiated the contact here. Vodanovic maybe just leaning forward slightly.
Well, it looked like if he was moving, it was before Brokoff got to him. Thought he did it really well in the end. He just bounced off him, and he'll go to the line for two. And probably can't hear it, but I'm sure a couple of Kings players saying the ball don't lie.
Mm-hmm. So Brokoff extends the margin to 12. Bales on the attack, right to the rim, finishes off the glass. Quick bucket for the Kings there, just what the doctor ordered. Now, can they get a stop or two? The Phoenix through Munford. He is short there from mid-range. Here comes Cooks. He's got the Jets on, putting all kinds of heat on the rim, and he just short arms the finish.
And Brokoff pulled down his 9th rebound. But I'll tell you what, Bales has been really good for the Kings. Fits perfectly into the identity of what the Kings want to do. As we've spoken a lot about tonight and missing some key guys, Chase Buford will be really happy to know that he's buying into that system.
Well, it plays nicely to his skill set, doesn't it? Spread the floor, put the ball on the deck and attack. And that's what Glover does there, draws the whistle on Tarangi.
Angus Glover out in transition as well. All the guys having that opportunity. Anyone who gets the rebound, put your head down, push the pace. Everybody spread the floor. You saw Xavier Cooks running down the wing before, trying to make something happen before the defense is set.
That Cooks finish at the rim could have made things very interesting down the stretch. Time starting to get away from Sydney. 10-point margin. They need that. Bruce can't knock it down, and that's a double-double for Ryan Brokoff. He snags his 10th board of the game. Forsyth finds Tarangi. Good D from Glover to deny Munford. And a foul called on Vodanovic.
It was interesting that we spoke a little bit about how the Kings had brought back Cooks and they brought back Glover with 2.5 minutes to go. Sat Martin down, who was having his way with the Phoenix defense. Just trying to see what they can do, try and play a little smaller, try and really get up and in and push the pace. And they're going to call a timeout here as Tarangi draws that foul.
So remember, 3 points up for grabs for the winner of this game in terms of the NBL Blitz ladder in search of the Loggins Bruton Cup. But also that 1 point available for the winner of each quarter. So Sydney lead this quarter 16-12. And they also won the third term as well, the Kings, 25-22. And you can stay up to date with everything to do with the Blitz at nblblitz.com.au. Keep track of the standings, how your team's going, the schedule, and you can also get your tickets. There's going to be games coming up in Hobart tomorrow night. There's going to be some games in Wollongong as the Blitz progresses over the next couple of weeks, a 2-week extravaganza of preseason basketball.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. You're going to see a lot of different players step on the floor, different rotations, different outfits, and then you'd think as we get closer to the last couple of games, last game leading into the season, it'll be more like what we're going to see in the regular season, and everyone wants to make sure they try and iron out all the kinks and get ready to go for December 3rd.
Well, another thing I think is interesting is, you know, these teams playing each other in the Blitz. They're playing against the teams they're going to be playing in the first period of the regular season.
Yeah.
So the Phoenix and the Kings, they're going to be playing against Melbourne and New Zealand and Illawarra, and then all those teams are going to meet each other in those opening rounds. So there's going to be some games played between the coaches, what you show, what you don't. And that's all part of what takes place in the preseason. Here's Bruce over Adnam, scores it. It's a 9-point game.
Been really solid. Sean Bruce hasn't had to do too much. We know what he does and reliable, getting guys the ball in the right spots. Really pesky, annoying defender when he can get up and in guys. And talking to Jalen Adams and RJ Hunter about what they expect from the squad, they're really high on what they've seen of Sean Bruce in the preseason, and we're playing alongside him. They can't wait to be able to do that and complement each other really nicely on the floor.
Tom Garrett out there for the Phoenix, getting a little bit of run down the stretch. I tell you, the other youngsters, Sapwell and Foxwell, both impressed in their limited run.
Well, I am surprised we didn't see a Foxwell sighting again here in the last minute as Sean Bruce gets the takeaway.
Ball moves for the Kings, finds Swakala Bullock, and he sinks it. It's a 6-point game, 40 seconds remaining, and this has been impressive from Sydney in this second half.
I got away with one there. There's only 14 seconds left, and Glover's going to foul. Send Brock off to the line. I mean, you want to send to the free throw line. Oh, sorry, a bit early, so they'll take it side out.
They're not quite over the limit yet, the Kings. Swakala Bullock knocks down that through ball, takes his tally to 8. They need to stop here, Sydney. Can they force a turnover? Forsyth has it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Really, the game clock and the shot clock in unison, so that will be basically all she wrote. Brokoff on the buzzer is off, and that's the ball game. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix hold on. They beat the Kings by 6, 81-75 in what was a closely contested game down the stretch, and credit to the Kings. There were periods of time when it looked like they were going to get blown out. There's a little moment of confusion here, but everyone realizes that's the final buzzer, and the Phoenix take the win.
Well, I think that confusion was they mindful there's a bit of time left on the clock, and Chase Buford might have wanted a timeout just to run through a play or something you get to prep for, but in the end that'll do it. And as you said, probably 5 or 6 times it looked like the Phoenix were going to blow this out, and this would have been a 20-30 point game. Credit to the Kings. Second half looked exactly the way that Chase Buford described they want to play. He'll be stoked with the guys that stepped on the floor. Drell Martin looked good in the second half. Xavier Cook showed those flashes. Bales was good. Swakala Bullock showed his signs. Vodanovic fought hard. Ultimately, really promising in the style of play we're going to come to expect from the Kings, but I just can't wait to see them at full strength. The length, the athleticism, the excitement, the youth. Lot to like about what's coming for the Sydney Kings.
It was a 19-point margin at one point that Southeast Melbourne got out to, and so really good effort from the Kings. They won the second half 46-35. So they won the second half by double digits. Chase Buford would be really happy with that. A lot to take out of it. And similarly for the Phoenix, a win for them to open their blitz, and a win for Judd Flavel, who was the head coach in charge of the Phoenix today. Simon Mitchell handing over the reins. So well done to Flavel for getting that victory. And that pretty much wraps us up. Pete, tomorrow the NBL Blitz is back in My State Bank Arena in Hobart. Adelaide and Cairns, the Tasmania Jack Jumpers, make their NBL preseason debut up against the Brisbane Bullets. And you'll be able to watch it live on KO Freebies tomorrow night. Oh, well done, Pete, on behalf of Pete Hawley, myself, and the whole hard-working crew out the back. It's the Phoenix by 6 over Sydney. We will see you next time.